Can officers search the vehicle for evidence of false ID? All right, guys, my name is Anthony Bandiero, attorney and senior legal instructor for Blue to Gold Law Enforcement Training, being the roadside chat. All right, this question comes from an officer in Minnesota. All right, the other day I stopped a vehicle and developed reasonable suspicion that the occupants were involved in criminal activity. All right, so I believe the occupants were involved in drug activity. One of the passengers provided me with a fake name and tried running from me. He was placed under arrest for obstructing the legal process and providing false information. There was a black bag by his feet on the floorboard. None of the other occupants claimed ownership of the bag. Okay, so there were no canines available to do a sniff. The driver and other occupants were released with the vehicle, and the person who gave me the fake name was brought to jail. Could I have conducted a Gantt-style search where the arrested party was sitting for documents containing information for false ID or maybe his real ID and so forth? The answer is yes. Okay, so let me give you some case law. So what is a Gantt-style search? All right, Arizona versus Gantt basically had two holdings. Number one is that you may conduct a search incident to arrest of a motor vehicle only when that occupant, the arrested occupant, is arrested, check. Near the vehicle, check. Unrestrained, check. At the time of the search. If you think about it, how often is that going to happen, right? In the real world, how often? Almost never. So in the old days before Gantt, a lot of cops would routinely search vehicles just because they arrested somebody from the vehicle, right? Those days are over, okay? Unless the person is under arrest, near the vehicle, unrestrained, and at the time of arrest. Gantt also has another holding, which is, okay, fine, you can't search it as a matter of routine just because you arrested the guy, but you can search it when you have a reason to believe that offense-related evidence is inside the vehicle, right? Offense-related evidence, arrest-related evidence. In other words, when you arrest somebody, even if you don't have probable cause that there's more evidence in that car, do you have a reason to believe more evidence is inside that car for the reason that you arrested him? That's going to Gantt. I'm sorry, that's going to what that's going to Gantt, but that's going what the officer said here. Does the officer have a reason to believe that evidence of their true identity or and prove that they actually gave you a fake name that's going to be in that bag? The answer is absolutely. Now, number one is, I want you to know, just for my Minnesota folks, right? This applies. The most, not all states have recognized Gantt. The vast majority has, only a few have not. But Gantt is a viable doctrine in Minnesota. It's going to be State versus Quay, 2017. It's from the Minnesota Court of Appeals, March 6, 2017. All right, so you can, I'll put that information in the description. And I also happen to find an 8th Circuit case, which is where Minnesota is, about providing false ID. So let me just kind of give you that case real quick. So this is, the case here is United States versus Campbell Martin. It's an 8th Circuit case from 2021. I will put the description below, but it said police officers' warrantless search of a backpack on the front of the floor of the front seat passenger area of the vehicle came with the exception to a requirement as search incident to arrest under Gantt. The officer had determined that the defendant, right, who was sitting in the driver's seat and a co-defendant in the passenger seat had provided the officer with false identification, at which point the officer arrested the person, right? It was reasonable for the officers to believe that evidence of the offense, false identification, would be found in a vehicle, right? Okay, so I'll put that in there. Things like, they say things like, mail, receipts, credit cards, licenses, all that could be presumed to be in that bag, which would help prove who their actual who they actually are, and to prove that they actually gave you a fake name. All right. There's your cases. Keep up the good workout that you're doing. I hope I helped you get it right every single time. Keep the questions coming. bluetogold.com youtube.com/show. You can ask me your question. And until next time, my friends, like, subscribe, and so forth. Share with your friends, and I'll see you next time. All right. Good job.